Today, we're here to talk about worms. These are not your average ground worms, but what we like to call body worms. These worms enter you when you're least expecting and come in two main types, hookworms and roundworms. Both are harmful to your health, as they cause iron deficiency anemia, protein to energy malnutrition, abdominal pain, and lack of energy. In more serious cases, schistosomiasis, often spread by contaminated food or water, can cause liver or spleen enlargement.
There are multiple causes of these parasitic worms, the first being inadequate sanitation. Unfortunately, the hookworm life cycle depends on inadequate sanitation and human feces in soil. Therefore, people living in poverty who are often exposed to feces find themselves at a higher risk of hookworm transmission. Another cause is poor housing construction. Cement and similar flooring serve as protection against the transmission of worms. However, in most poor areas, this is not the case. Oftentimes, houses are constructed with dirt floors, thatched roofs, as well as walls with cracks and crevices. This, in turn, leads to a disease called Chagas disease, often found in Central and South America. In addition to this, lack of access to essential medicines is also a cause of parasitic transmission. Wealthy families can afford anthelmintic drugs to treat hookworm on a frequent and periodic basis. However, poor families cannot.
The poor are especially vulnerable to these worms due to subpar conditions many are forced to live in. An estimated 576 million people are infected worldwide. There are roughly 600 million cases of hookworm that are distributed predominantly in agricultural areas and among the estimated 2.7 billion people who live on less than $2 per day. Therefore, environment and socioeconomic status represent the two most important determinants for hookworm.
In 1998, the primary school deworming project was carried out by International Child Support in cooperation with the Abuja District Ministry of Health. 75 schools were randomly divided into 3 groups of 25 schools each. Researchers randomly assigned treatment plans to the schools. Each plan phased schools into treatment over 3 years. Researchers Edward Miguel and Michael Kremer vigilantly tracked the results of this medicine distribution and found that this program in Kenya led to a 7.5 percentage point gain in primary school participation, reducing their absenteeism by at least 1/4. There are also positive health and participation externalities that occurred for untreated students. Similar studies done in the Americas found that untreated students had a depressed adult income of 40%.
The cost of these treatments is actually fairly affordable from an economic standpoint. Deworming costs about 25 cents per child a year with delivery costs, so gains in a mere fraction of a percent in income would provide a very high cost-benefit ratio. This treatment is significantly less expensive than other methods of increasing school participation, such as school subsidies. Overall, deworming interventions can be recommended as an effective way to alleviate poverty in developing countries.
We believe that the solution to this problem begins with public education on the topic. Of course, it is not feasible to integrate this information into a public education system, but we see a route towards the solution through word of mouth and government-funded public health initiatives. If we are able to spread this word to those in need, the leaders and citizens in these impoverished areas will begin to develop new techniques of hygiene. We also cannot understate the need to build trust around any program or company that attempts to tackle this issue. Failure to do so may push impoverished people away from any potential solution in the future.